Tiruvan Sarnai, like we say in Sri Lanka, Tri Ratna Sarnai, and with the permission of the Mahasangha, we'll start today's discourse. I did not prepare any one particular story because I wanted to give all of you some idea about some of the good Kalyanmittata kind of conversations that people have. And in the Theri-Gatha, there are many such conversations. So we'll be talking about three, maybe two or three, depending on the time. I don't know how much time we have. Until 10. Yeah. So about 25 minutes, maybe 5 minutes for the question. So we'll go up till 30. So maybe two or three conversations we'll discuss today, or we'll talk about those conversations. So the first one that I have is about Purna Theri. Has anybody heard about Purna Theri? Nobody, I guess. Okay, and then how many people know about Anathapindaka? I guess everybody probably know, right? He was the chief patron of Lord Buddha. So Purna, of course, she was not born a Theri. When she was born, she was a servant. She was born to a servant of Anathapindaka. And so when she was born, she was number 100 in the household. That's why her name was named Purna. She completed 100, so she was named Purna. So this Purna, when she came of age, maybe 12, 16-year-old, she was assigned the duty. This was in Savatthi, of course. So she was assigned the duty that every morning, like 5 o'clock maybe, you should go to Achiravati, go down the ghat, fill up the water, and bring that cold water back to the household, and do this several times, not just one time. So like her duty was to go down in the dawn with not enough clothes, shivering, go down in the cold water, fill up the water, come back and do this again and again and again, so that she can bring enough water for the whole household. So one day she is going down there, and she has been observing for some time. There was a Brahmin who also used to come at around 4:30 in the very morning, and he's shivering and he's taking dips in the water, and then he does some mantrochar, and then he comes out of the water. So one day she asked him that I have to do this because I'm a servant. If I don't do this, they will fire me or punish me in some way. But why are you punishing yourself? Why are you doing this? Why are you coming here every morning in such cold, and with shivering limbs, you are taking a dip in the water 3 times, like completely, and you might catch cold, you might die of some pneumonia or something like that. Why are you doing this? So he says, oh, you know why I'm doing this. By taking these holy dips, I'm washing away all my sins. By this, every sin that I have done until now, it's all washed off and it's all gone. So Purna looks at him and says, who told you this? One stupid, one ignorant person to the other person. How can that be? If that was the case, that by taking deep in the water, all your sins are washed away, then all these turtles, all these frogs, all these water snakes, all these fishes, all the creatures of the water, they are all like forever freed from all the sins. They have no sins. So how can that be? And then she poses second question. She says, if the river can wash away your sins, then it can also wash away your punyas. So you are always going to be zero. You will never grow from 0 to 1 or 0 to -1. You will always be 0. This opens up that Brahmin's eyes. Brahmin has also very little dust on his eyes. He says, he must have many paramis from the past. So Brahman, his eyes open up. He starts thinking that she is totally true. She is totally correct. Because if by taking a dip, if all the butchers, all the fishermen, all the killers of animals, if they all can be freed from the sins, then there is no need to do anything else. But that is not the case. He realizes that right away. And so he accepts her, like telling her that you opened up my eyes forever today. You have opened up my eyes. I want to give you something. And she says, no, you keep it. You take refuge in Lord Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, because that is the only refuge that's going to free you. Brahman does that. And after that, we don't know how long, but for some time, he practices Buddhism, he practices meditation, vipassana, all those things. And one day he becomes free. And then he sings his song of release, saying that earlier I was just a regular bather in the river, but now I'm a real bather in the stream of Dhamma. And I have cleansed myself. I have removed all my sins that come because of lust, hate, and delusion. And I'm now finally a washed one, a purified one, Natako. And Natako means basically one who has taken a holy bath in the stream of Dhamma. He finally becomes that. So these are the kind of conversations. One tiny conversation can sometimes change the life of somebody else forever. And so that's why Kalyanmittata is so important. That's why it's the first factor for stream entry, associating with wise people or people of integrity or Kalyanmitta or however you want to call it. But associating with somebody, you hear something, and that something could be the key to opening your mind because of your particular inclinations, your particular sensitivities, your particular karma from the past. So that's one conversation. The second conversation I want to talk about is how many people know about Chapa Theri? How many people know about Ajivaka Upaka? Somebody should know about Ajivaka Upaka, no? Do you know? Okay, so one person at least knows about Ajivaka Upaka. Ajivaka Upaka was the first person, I believe, who Lord Buddha met after he was newly enlightened, and he was walking he was walking to Isipatana, and on the way he met Ajivaka Upaka, and they had a little bit of conversation where Lord Buddha made an impression on Ajivaka Upaka, saying that I'm a Buddha, I am the Ananta Jina, I have been freed from all the passions, all the asavas and everything. And Lord Buddha did that on purpose, because he knew that later in life, this person is going to come back to me, not right now. Right now, he is not so much interested. So Lord Buddha made first impression. That is Kalyanmittata. Now then the Ajivaka Upaka, he was an Ajivaka. Ajivakas have usually always, they have the wrong view. So they have never been liberated, basically. So this guy goes off. He's traveling, and he falls in love with a daughter of a deer trapper, basically, one who catches deers in the jungle. In those times, it was free, right? You didn't have to buy anything. So you just go and catch something. And so this father of the daughter, he was a deer catcher. So Ajivaka Upaka fell in love with the daughter. And for 7 days, he did all kinds of things. And finally, he married her. So now they are living together. And father-in-law catches deer, and Upaka goes out and sells that deer meat in the market. So now, from Ajivakas have wrong, at least they are ascetics. They have wrong viewpoint and everything, but at least they are ascetic. Now this guy has become even more selling the meat, basically become a completely householder, have a wife. Then that wife's name was Chapa. And then one day, I mean, of course, as the course of the nature, Chapa bore him a son. And Chapa thought that Ajivaka is very happy here, so there is no issue. I'm safe. Our marital life will be protected forever. So thinking like that, Chapa is breastfeeding the son. But at that point, Upaka's previous merits, they come to the fore. And he says, where did I get stuck again? I was free. I was just walking around with one stick, and I had no issues. I had no problems. Now I have to take care of this. I've given up all my stuff. I'm selling meat in the market. I have a wife. I have a son. So he tells her that I want to go from here. I don't want to be with you because by your beauty, you are holding me in the world again, and I want to be free from the world. So he tells her that I want to go away. So Chapa is also very smart. She plays all kinds of tricks on him. She says, I'm so beautiful. Why do you want to go away? Look at me. I'm like a beautiful flowering tree in the middle of like lamps, like highlighted on the top of the mountain. All beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so he says, I don't want any of that beauty. I'm not going to be here ensnared with your beauty, basically. So I want to get off from here. So now she uses another trick. She earlier said, I am beautiful. Now she says, I'm bountiful. I have given you a son. What else do you want? This is the ultimate objective. You got the son now. So I'm so bountiful. And my relatives, my husband, my father, my brother, everybody is obedient to you. They do everything you want them to do. So now she plays the second trick, saying, I'm bountiful. I've given you everything you wanted. I'm Putravati. And so he says, no, I don't want that. You can keep the son. I will go away. So now she uses the third trick. She says, if you go away, I will throw away this son on the ground and the son will die. And because of that, you will not go away. So he says, you do whatever you want to do. You give son to the jackal, you give son to the dog, you take a knife and cut the son. But because of that, you are not going to ensnare me and keep me here anymore. At this point, Chapa now realizes that she has no more control left over Upaka. So she finally tells him, okay, so where are you going to go then? So Upaka tells her that I'm going to go to river Niranjana, currently in Bodh Gaya. And Lord Buddha is staying there, whom I met long time ago. He's Anantajina, he is my friend. So I'm going to go and he will be my teacher. So Chapa finally then requests him, okay, go and do circumambulation around him 3 times. Pay your respects to him and offer all the merits to me of all the salutations, all the circumambulations, all the respects you have paid to Lord Buddha. And Upaka says, yes, definitely, I can do that for you. And so Upaka goes away and he does that to Lord Buddha. And then at some point, Ajivak Upaka becomes a non-returner and he is reborn in Avilla heaven, basically. And that's also reported in Samyutta Nikaya and Ghatikara Sutta, that he is one of the 7 beings born in the non-returner heavens. There are special heavens for the non-returners. And this is all reported by Chapa Theri, who in her lifetime herself becomes an arahant, while her husband becomes a non-returner. So see, this woman who wanted to ensnare the man in the household by giving him all kinds of things like I'm beautiful, I'm bountiful, I will kill this child, all those things, she herself becomes arahant, and her husband Upakathera becomes a non-returner. So this is another kind of Kalyanmittata conversation that takes place many times, where you think that this is not really for the good, but ultimately it turns out for the good. So some of the sufferings, some of the things that people might tell you is ultimately for your good. So this was the second conversation I wanted to report. And then the third conversation we have is, we already spoke about Purna Theri, Chapa Theri, and then we will, there is another great conversation that takes place between Sundari Theri. So Sundari was another Theri, and that story is little complicated. So I'll explain more as we go along. So there is Brahman Sujato. Sujato is the father of Sundari Theri. So Sujato has left the home. Why? I will tell you in a little while. So he has left the home. He's distraught. He's crying all the time. He doesn't know what to do. He has no control over himself. And so he has left the home. He's out there and he meets Vasati Theri. Vasati Theri at that time has become already an arahant. The Vasati Theri story is that she was accused of eating her own children. Like, remember in the old timers, they would say if a woman cannot have children, then she is eating away her own children. The children are dying and she is eating away, like she is a Dakan or something like that, Dakini or something like that. So she's accused of that. And she was also distraught, like Kisa Gautami Theri and other theories, where she had been losing her children and not being able to keep the children. So she left her home, went to Lord Buddha, listened to Lord Buddha's Dhamma, and became a Theri. But now Brahman Sujato knows her story. And the story goes, in the commentary it says that she had eaten dead children's meat and flesh in the cemetery, basically. In some cases they say 7, some cases they say 100, depending on which recension of the Tipitaka you are reading. So Sattaputta would be more appropriate. So she is accused of eating her own children, literally or figuratively, I'm not sure, whichever one it is. So she is accused. So now this Brahman Sujato asks her that, Vaseti, you were accused of this, you were accused of that, you were eating your own children in the cemetery. So how come you are not distraught now? How come you are so calm? How come your face is so bright? And how come you are like at peace with yourself, at peace with the world? And she says, yes, Brahman, I have eaten many children before and many, many relatives too. And you have also done that too. But I am not suffering because of that anymore, because I have found the true Dhamma. So Sujato asks her, what is the true Dhamma? What did you find? So she tells him that near the city of Mithila, near the Bhagalpur area now, Mithila, Janakpuri, all that area, near the city of Mithila, there is the Lord Buddha who is preaching the Dhamma, the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, to free all the people from the circle of life and death, to give them Amrita. And so Brahman Sujato says, okay, I believe you, so I'm also going to go there, and maybe he will free me from that also. Maybe at this point he is going with the wrong viewpoint that Lord Buddha will give him some bhabhuti or some prasad or say, ja bacha tera kalyan ho gaya, things like that, and he would be freed from all the suffering. He is not sure what he is getting into at this point. So he goes there, and he has his charioteer with him, the horse, the chariot, the charioteer, and money. He goes to Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha preaches the Dhamma to him, teaches him the Dhamma. And within 3 days, this Sujato becomes free from all his sorrow and becomes an Arahant. He becomes a Tevijja Brahmano. Tevijja Brahmano means he has the 3 knowledges. So at that point, Sujato is now an Arahant. He doesn't need anything anymore. He is no longer attached to any material possessions. He cannot keep anything. So he tells the Sarathi, the charioteer, that go back to the Brahmani, go back to our home, and give the chariot back to her, give the horse back to her, give the money back to her, and tell her that Brahman, your husband, Sujato, me, I'm okay, and I have ordained under Lord Buddha, and in 3 nights, he has become an Arahant. He is no longer having any kind of sorrow, any kind of distress, any kind of lamentation, nothing like that. He's all fine now. So Sarthi goes, the charioteer goes back home, and he goes and tells his wife, Sujato's wife, that Brahman has ordained, and he has sent back the chariot, the horses, the money, everything back for you. So now this wife tells Sundari, who is daughter of Sujato, that your father has now quit the home, and you are the only inheritor of all the wealth that he has collected. Lots of elephants, lots of horses, tons of field, I'm sure, tons of jewelry. All these things are now yours, and you are the only inheritor, so now enjoy it and do whatever you like with it. So now at this point, Sundari is still at home, right? Father had left a while ago. And why had father left? Now Sundari tells. Sundari says, because of son's death, my father left the home and he became an Arahant. Now, this son was also my brother. So because of my brother's death, I'm also very, very, very upset, in sorrow, lamenting, don't know what to do, have no interest in anything. Why shouldn't I go on the path of my father and just become just like he ended the sorrow in his life? Why don't I follow his path? So she tells mother that I don't want anything. I'm also going to go ordain. I will become a nun and I'll also follow Lord Buddha's path. And that's exactly what she does. She lives it. Her mother blesses her. We don't know why mother did not live. We have no idea. Commentary doesn't say anything, because if this was her real child, then mother would also be very distraught, more than the father and sister actually. But mother doesn't live. Maybe she was a stepmother. We don't know. But that's not important. What's important is father has become an arahant. Sundari lives, and she also becomes, after some time, she becomes an arahant, and under in a nun, under a nun there. And she asked the nun one day that, can I go and pay my respects to Lord Buddha? And nun says, of course, go. She creates a mind-made chariot and horse, a 7-horse chariot, and she goes and meets Lord Buddha. And Lord Buddha even tells her that your coming is very good. Your coming is not bad. You have come out of suffering. You have ended suffering forever. And so this was the third story I wanted to tell you about. Brahmin meeting the Vasetti Theri. Vasetti Theri, and for one thing I forgot to mention, the charioteer who brought back the chariot and horses and money, Brahmini tells her that you can keep all of this. And so charioteer says, no, I don't want it. I'm also going to go ordain. So this thing, I missed in the middle. But so Vasetti turns Brahmin into Arahant. Brahmin sends chariot back to Sundari and his wife. Charioteer goes back. We don't know if he became an Arahant or not. We have no idea about that part. Then Sundari becomes an Arahant. And it's like a circle. People are giving each other, lighting lamp from the lamp, candle to candle to candle, and people are becoming free. This is the power of Kalyanmittata. That's why we associate with people of integrity. Even their one word, sometimes it could be pleasant, sometimes it could be non-pleasant. But no matter how it is, that can light the fire. That can light the fire to practice, to give up something, to change some behavior somewhere. And slowly, 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 all these things, they add up. It doesn't appear that they are adding up, but they are adding up. Your merits are increasing, increasing, increasing over time. And finally, the time comes when you leave everything behind. The dust flies away. Your eyes are clear. Your vision is clear. And you attain Nibbana. So no matter how you feel from time to time, just remember to associate with Kalyanmittata. Go to places where you can find people of integrity who can guide you, who can tell you what to do, what not to do. And I think that's the message of the Therigatha also, that Lord Buddha has been Kalyanmittata to every single Arahant, stream enterer, non-returner, once returner. But those people have also been Kalyan Mitra to each other, and that's what we should keep in mind. We should become good Kalyan Mitra to others. Tell somebody to come and visit, come even one time, listen, practice, join a meditation course. And when somebody tells us to come and join them in good deeds, we should also. Not when they ask us to go to bar or something like that, but if they want us to go, come join the temple and listen to the sermon or practice or do a meditation course, we should also listen. So that was my, that's the message I wanted to give today of the Kalyanmittata, small stories, anecdotes. With that, we will complete the discourse here. If there are any questions, you can ask.